Hello, you're listening to Those Other Girls with Mallory and Friends. I'm Mallory.
I'm Isabel.
And we are changing culture and bringing back traditional values. Okay, so today we have a fun episode. We're not getting into any pop culture or anything like that. Today we are doing a Q&A. Isabel and I both asked our audience if they had any questions for us, and we're just going to answer your questions and go forward with that.
Let's do it.
All right.
Do I sound okay, Mel?
You ready?
Sound check.
Yeah.
Ready.
Mic check 1, mic check 2.
Sorry, my makeup artist just left the building, and my hairstylist. Yes, Pablo. I'll see you on Tuesday. I'm just kidding. I wish.
Or is she?
I'm like, I wish.
I know. I would love to have someone to be able to do my makeup, like come to me to do my makeup and do my hair. Those are two things like I would love to outsource.
Girl.
That's not a question, but that is an answer to a question that you could have. What would I like to outsource? Driving, my makeup, and my hair.
This is why we're friends.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll start off with an easy one.
Okay.
What is your favorite coffee?
Ooh, so I love iced coffee. Will forever love iced coffee. I don't care if it's like 20 degrees outside. And honestly, I'm a good caramel girl. Just caramel latte. It's really my go-to.
Really?
Yes, I also like the cold foam. I didn't really know what the big thing about it was, but then when I tried it, I was like, so good. Oh, I wish I could have one right now. What about you?
I was just thinking,
you drink coffee?
I
right?
would love a coffee right now.
Okay.
Yes. My favorite is cold brew.
Okay.
I tried cold brew in 2020 and I have not been back. I will always order cold brew. And then if they don't have it, I'll be like, okay, I guess I'll get iced coffee. Okay. But cold brew is so
I was about to say,
good.
I want to try cold brew, but I already get pretty shaky with a cup of coffee. Caffeine, it gets to me. I know some people it doesn't. So I'm like, I don't know if I can do cold brew. I feel like I'm going to be flying out of this world. I don't know how we'll act when I'm on cold brew. I'm already a pretty energetic person. So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it goes and it's strong. So that's why you always got to add cream. I'm a cream girl. I don't do sugar.
So you can just do cold brew and then just add the creams and then that's it? You don't add any sugar?
Yeah,
you
don't
can
add
add pumps or anything?
No, I don't add sugar. Well, I might do flavor depending. It's this place down the street from me. I think it's something Dragon. I just know how to drive there. Actually, now that we're talking about it, I might go before church.
Well, not to Dragon, but
it's called, I might go tomorrow before church. It's really good. The name of the cold brew I get is called Dreamy, and it's literally just cold brew and then cream. And there's not flavoring in it, but the cream that they have, I don't know, something about it just tastes so good. I even tried it with lavender. You could add a lavender flavor to it, which I was nervous about because,
I was about to say, lavender is lavender popular right now.
Essential oils. Yeah, it's really in, but you can drink it too apparently, and it was actually really good. I might do that tomorrow morning.
What time do you go to church?
So I go to the 10:45 service. Yeah, I used to be one of those 8:00 service girl, but I'm not. Not anymore.
But I'm not.
With age comes,
yeah,
not anymore. Even though I get up early enough to go.
Because you want to be awake, not I'm surviving awake. I get that. I get that.
Yes.
I think I'm either going in the morning or at night. I told you, right? We have a bunch of, past times. But what was I gonna say? Okay, so I might try cold brew. You should try cold foam with the cold brew. I think you'll like it because it's a little sweet.
Okay.
It kind of feels like a dessert almost. I don't know if you're big into whipped cream and stuff, but I don't know. I love it.
Love whipped cream.
Yes. Serve it up, please.
Yeah.
I also do
Did you know?
Oh no, I was just gonna say.
I had a fun fact.
A little
hack
you go first. To get coffee. If you go pretty much anywhere, if you just get the regular iced coffee and then you add the pumps of flavoring, at Starbucks, I do that. And it's cheaper than if you're can I get a caramel latte? But if you say I want an iced coffee with 2-3 pumps of whatever flavor, and then whatever like creamer you want, and then bam, it's like much cheaper. It's like $3. Yeah, so my regular coffee order, like at Starbucks or Dunkin', it's usually around the same price. It's like $3. So, fun fact. Yes.
Oh.
I am the
life hack.
I'm the queen of saving pennies. Okay, I don't care how rich I get, which that's not happening right now. But I don't care.
I love that. I love that. Exactly. I mean, it will one day. We are, podcast girlies.
Gorgeous girls.
Don't go camping.
Girls don't go camping. They don't drive. They don't order their own drinks.
What I was gonna say about a fun fact about whipped cream is if you like stir butter enough, it turns into whipped cream.
Okay. Yes, health queen.
Yeah. 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 I don't know about that. My cousin went to Cornell for baking, and I saw her do it once. I know. Yeah, she went to Cornell for baking. I feel like I know.
Cousin, I'd be like, that's the cousin that went to Cornell.
Yeah, that's her. That's her.
That's awesome.
She went to Cornell for baking. Yeah, it was when she said baking, I was like, I knew you liked it. I didn't realize it was like a career. Nothing against that. I love that she's because I feel like normally you would say, oh, that's just a hobby I do. But I like that she said, no, this is something I like. And she's really good. I mean, I love eating her food. So she's like, no, this is something I like to do. And it's something I'm good at. So I'm going to do it. Yeah. I respect that a lot because, in my head and honestly, some of our family were like, you're going to Cornell, honey. You need to be doing math. And she's like, no. I mean,
I didn't even know there was a thing like Cornell for baking. But that's awesome.
Yes.
That's queen.
It was in like their culinary program. Awesome. Yeah. Anywho, the next question is, how did we meet?
You stared at me down the hall. No, I'm just kidding. We actually met recently, to be honest.
Actually, you were staring at me, but okay.
So you asked for my autograph. I'm so bad. Just kidding. I actually reached out. So we were at Turning Point USA event, and it was a women's conference not too long ago, actually, but like 2 months ago. LOL. And
not that long
it was
ago.
funny because I was like, should I listen to this speaker or that speaker, or should I eat lunch? And I'm like, I want to go eat lunch. So I went, and I was like, the line was it was funny. It was literally God sent for us to meet because I was going to go to that pizza line before you guys got there, but then it was too long. So I was like, nah, I'm just going to go back and sit with Becca. And then so I went to sit with her. And then later, she's like, you should go get lunch. She's like, you should go because the line's probably shorter. So then, sure enough, I roll around to the little corner and the line was shorter. And then I turned back and I was like, I think I see Melanie. That's when I saw Melanie. And I was like, wait, and I didn't know her. Like, I couldn't remember her name, but I was like, oh my God, I know her from Instagram. I was like, she just got engaged, And then I was like, I couldn't remember her name. But then luckily we kind of both were like, we know each other, We kind of gave us like that nod, like, okay, I know you, me. We don't know each other's names, but yes. And then that's when it kind of all started. And then next thing you know, she was like, I think she like looked at you. She was like, hey, like, Mel, like, come say hi or whatever. And then I think that's when you were like whispering, like, oh, I think that's Isabel or whatever, or Silent Smile. And I was like, yes, this is me. I love y'all. And then I was like, do y'all want to come eat? Do y'all want to come eat lunch with us?
It was.
And you were like, sure. And then we broke bread, and the rest is history.
Mel and I.
And I broke my toe.
The rest is history.
I always say that.
And that's a Patreon episode, maybe in the future, for people to know like what really happened. But like, so from my perspective, Mel was talking to you. You guys know Melanie if you've been listening for a while. You know her. Melanie was talking to Isabel, and I was like, I kind of was like, what's that? Because like, I followed you. I knew who you were, but I'm just really like, I'm just not like, if I know you on social media, if I've ever been awkward, if you're listening, if I've ever been awkward around you, it's really because I'm just trying to figure out who you are. Like, and no offense. And if I ever stared at you, I was talking to my friend about this earlier today. She was saying, those people that just kind of like stare at you. And I'm like, you know what, girl? I am that person. Me. Because I feel like I know that person. I am she. I cannot help it. I will stare at you.
Because you're trying to because you're thinking.
But I'm trying to figure out where I know you from. Yeah. So, and then she invited us to sit with her, and I was like, oh my god, I'm sitting with Isabel. She's like famous.
Yeah, except I told you my life, and you were like, dang, this girl's
and then we. No, I was like, dang, she's relatable. My god. that was like, ooh,
you're like,
not
you're
alone.
Like, preach. Oh my god, that was a good time. That was a good time, everybody. I'm like, everybody, Becca, Melanie.
Good time.
We were like, so is anyone single? We're like, no. we're like low-key crying.
But yeah, so that's how we met. Yeah, this life is so fun. Being single is great. I'm really enjoying it. Speaking of which, that's the next question about our relationship status. And in case you hadn't picked it up, we're both single.
We are.
Isabel, what is your ideal
girl,
man?
Okay.
If he's listening, or if his sister is listening. If his sister is listening.
I'm just kidding. You just put me in the spot, so like smiling from ear to ear.
I did.
Like husband's at the door or something.
Because you're excited.
I was literally thinking about this, and obviously I don't want to be cliche, but like someone that is kind, someone that treats other people with respect, especially elder people and kids, someone that's honest, someone that is not prideful, and someone that seeks the good in others, or the will. How do you say it? Seeks the good in other. I don't know. Whatever you're trying to say.
I'm not quite sure what you're trying to say.
Obviously, I have to be attracted to him. Can you hear me?
Fruit of the spirit.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm like, obviously I have to be attracted to
Sorry,
him.
I hit the mic.
And for me, like, if you want to get like specific, like physical wise, I'm a big, like, I'm sucker for smiles. Like, if I like your smile, and like, if you have a nice smile, I'm gonna be like, yes, you're my man. I'm just kidding.
Look at me smiling.
And I feel like I don't really have like a specific type, because I think the common denominator is like, if you're funny. Like, if you're funny, you can make me laugh, you don't take yourself too seriously, and you make me feel like safe and secure, and you make me laugh. Okay, yes, you're my man. And of course, you have to be a godly man and God-fearing and love God and have a relationship with him. I think that, like, in the past, even like guys that were like, oh, I respect your relationship with God, but like, I don't personally have a relationship with him, but it's cool that you do. It's like, no, I don't need someone to respect that, because my friends do, right? Even my guy friends, they respect the fact that, I go to church, I'm in a relationship with God. But if you're going to be like my partner, if we're going to be doing this, it's like, you gotta have your own walk with God. So anyways, that was kind of all over the place, but that's basically what I look for in a guy. What about you? Turning it over to you, girl. Sister girl.
So, so I just want to say, if you're listening and you have a single brother or friend, Isabel is available. Please send a picture in a bio to hello.thosearethegirls@gmail.com, and I will,
we will sift.
Go forward from there. We will sift through. Yes. Picture in a bio, please.
I'm like, yes.
I'm just joking, kind of, sort of. Okay, so for me, obviously Christian, godly man, same values. Okay, so outside of that, because that's kind of a given. We're Christian girlies.
Gorgeous girls.
I really... Gorgeous girls. I really, 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 really want someone who is like on the same level of like ambition as me.
That's what I forgot.
Like, I want someone who is gonna always someone who is always gonna want to be better. Like, not in like
materialistic,
in a like negative way, but like not in a materialistic way, but someone who's like, I could be better at X, Y, and Z. Like, to continue to go forward and like always, wanting to do something, like, not entrepreneurial, because that sounds corny, but
no, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean. Like,
you're always striving for more, as in, like, in a good way.
Yes.
Yeah, I also think it's
be better.
that's one of my things, like self-awareness. Like, because when you have self-awareness, you can like really catch yourself, and you're like, oh, I was in the wrong, or oh, maybe I shouldn't have said this, because no one's perfect, you know. We're not perfect, and it kind of goes back to the first episode of like saying like how you don't have to be completely healed to find love. Like, I think that's like, you know what I mean? We're all work in progress. But anyway, sorry.
Right. Yes. All 100% agree with everything you said. So the other thing, let me think. I also want someone who is funny as well. And like, if you're ever like, what type of humor does Mallory have? Community. The show Community. I think that is the funniest show that has ever been created. That is my comfort show. When we're done recording and I'm getting ready for bed, when I'm taking off my makeup or whatever, I will be watching Community. It is so funny to me. I can watch it backwards and forwards. Like,
wait, that's is it like an old show or is it a new show?
So guys that are like that. No, it's like it came out when we were in high school, maybe. It's so funny. It's like these people, they join a community college, and it's just like silly hijinks. I don't know how else to describe it. You should watch it. It's on Netflix and Hulu as well. It's on Netflix and Hulu. You should watch it. I think it's so funny. So if like that's your kind of humor, like then I really like that. I also really realized, so I have a lot of different sides of me, and obviously I don't have to be with someone who we have all of the same things in common, but I realize that I really would like someone that will enjoy movies with me. Like, I talk about this on spoilers, but like, I really do like escapism in the sense of like the movies and TV shows. So I would want someone who would enjoy some of we don't have to like all the same things, but like who would be able to enjoy them and like have discussions with me. I think that would just be nice. Looks wise, I really don't have a type. Like, if you look at all the different guys I've dated, they all look different. Like, there's no common thread. I have friends that like, yes.
I literally,
paste.
I'm like,
I have friends like that.
No. I'm like, no.
Is that you?
No, not really.
Okay.
Girl, I do not.
It's not me at all. Not me at all.
Like I said, if your personality is
same. For clarification, I do not
like, if I can like, we like, hit it off, but yeah, we like vibe, like,
vibing,
honey,
vibing.
But I also think it's so funny you said that, because I have friends where I'm like, I know, like, you just hit copy and paste. So I was like, I didn't want to be the one to say it, but I'm like, kind of looks like your last word.
Yeah, I have friends. I'm like, okay, this is
and then some
same
girls
guy you dated, right? But now he has a New York accent.
Some girls are very specific. Like, I had a friend. She was like, "Yeah, I'm not either." Like,
and I'm just not.
And like I said, common denominator is like, if you can make me laugh. So, like, y'all, shoot your shot. No, I'm just kidding. Now's your time. I'm telling you.
Yeah, shoot your shot at send your headshot and a bio to hello. Those are the girls at gmail.com.
Podcast, Bachelorette edition. I'm just kidding. Oh my goodness. That'd be fun. No, wait, what was I saying? I forgot. I'm sorry. What were you saying? You said you don't have a type.
Copy paste.
One of my friends, well, she's not really my friend anymore, but unfortunately, she
someone
was saying like, I need the guy. She's like, she didn't like tall guys, because you know how like guys are usually like, oh well, y'all girls only want guys that are tall. Like, it's usually a short guy that says this, right? But they're like, oh, you girls don't like tall guys, or you don't like short guys. You don't like short guys. So my friend goes, no, I actually prefer like a guy that's my height. And she said, I don't want anyone that's taller than me. I don't want them to be looking at my scalp. I was like, this girl. She said, I don't want no one looking at my scalp.
That's so
like,
funny.
Okay, so
that
is
where your so
conclusion
funny.
Was to like not date like tall guys. It's so funny. But oh my gosh, okay, last
so
thing,
funny.
You can go, girl, and you can go. Look at me. There was a study done. I follow a bunch of like relationship stuff, like I guess there was this girl I follow on Instagram, or not girl, she's like this doctor, like love doctor or whatever. I feel like everyone says that. But she's a love doctor, and she was saying how like if you're the kind of girl that is like, you have all these criteria for men, that you're not gonna date so and so because so and so and so and so, like, they're not this height, they're not that, they're not this, that we're missing out on a lot of great guys. Seriously. And I want to say this on the podcast because I feel like people have a misconception, especially when they, like, quote unquote try to, like, put people in boxes, like, oh, that girl would never, like, go for a guy like that, or that girl like da 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 da. It's like, why don't you just ask her? You know, I feel personally like people have a misconception about me. They're like, oh, she's pretty, she must have all the guys, like, wanting her. No. And even if that was the case, like, don't I have a say, right? Like, so I think it's just about, like, you know, anyways, so the whole study was done about how there were, like, only, like, there's only, like, 7, I'm over here botching the numbers, but essentially was saying how, like, there's only a very few percentage of tall men. Probably, like, if you look at it from 100%, what did you say?
14%. There's only 14% of
you know
men
how that's, like,
are
the
over
criteria
6 feet.
for girls, like, oh, he has to be over 6 foot, and it's like, y'all, we're missing out on so many good guys that you probably wouldn't even take a second look because you're so fixated on, like, that over 6 foot guy. So all I'm saying is, no, you don't have to go and, like, look for the next short king, but just be open to, like, you know, guys that are not maybe as tall as you would like them to be. Me personally, height is not a really big issue, but, like, I don't want someone the same height as me. Like, it's just a low no. You gotta stay a little bit taller than me. A little bit taller than me. Preferably. What are your thoughts?
I don't really care, but I don't really care about height, but I'm also 5'3.5". So, like, most people in general are taller than me. So it's not really something I think about. True. If I'm being honest,
I act like I'm like, you have to be taller than me. I'm like 5'3".
So, like, too. Guys. Okay, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, I don't think she's that much taller than me.
I know.
I feel like she's like 5'7" or something.
WNBA star. No, and that's why I'm like, well, they gotta be taller than me because I'm 5'3". So if you're not 5'3",
yeah, I mean,
sorry, Lord. Okay.
If you're not 5'3", then that's just how God created you.
There's girls that are 4'9".
Yeah, and there's absolutely. So moving on to the next question. I really wanted to ask this question because I thought this was a good one. It says, how to make lasting friends in your 20s/30s, and are you friends with people who have different beliefs?
Thanks for asking that. Whoever asked that. Do you want to take that, Mel?
I know. Sure, I can go first on this one. How to make lasting friends in your 20s and 30s. I think the best way to make lasting friends is honestly, like, in your 20s and 30s, our friends, I hate to say this because it's going to sound terrible, and I don't mean this in, like, be mean or don't be friends with people who don't fit this criteria, but I just, from my experience, this is the only way to make lasting, is other Christians. Like, I hate to, like, I don't want to be like, you can be friends with people who are non-Christian. I have non-Christian friends that I love dearly, but, like, when, no, I do, that I love dearly. They're probably not listening to this podcast, but
watch them listen. They're like, excuse me, Mel.
Yeah, they don't love them, but they. Right. Hey, I just randomly decided to listen to this one episode of your podcast. You're talking about your non-Christian friends. Are you referring to me? But no. Like, I'm speaking from my experience. Your Christian friends that you meet are the ones that are going to last longer because from my experience, because you guys are going into the friendship in a sense, you're not going into friendship like trying to get something out of each other. Because if you're Christians, essentially the idea is you're going to the friendship because you have one common denominator is God. I have made some friends, some Christian friends recently. I mean, honestly, like you and Mel, I really see the two of you as like friends that I'm going to have for long-lasting friends. And like the reality is like we have things in common. We kind of sort of have things in common, but like not really.
Which is fun. Which
I mean,
yeah, which is
other than our
also,
values
like,
and
super
our
fun
love
because,
for
like, you teach me
Jesus.
things and I'm like, oh, okay. Like the shows that you were telling me, I'm like, I have no clue. But I'm like, okay, that's my friend and I want to learn more, you know?
No, and you teach me. Yeah, and you teach me things like I don't know anything about that makeup stuff you were saying, like, and all the other stuff, like, and that's okay. But I feel like these are the
Yeah.
friendships like that are going to last longer. And I hate to say it, like, because you can definitely be friends with people who aren't Christians.
Yeah.
Don't hear me say that because that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying for me, the long lasting friendships people are people you're going to meet like through Bible study, through doing things like, you know, joining clubs
or just being there clubs, through the good and the bad.
You know, yeah, stuff like that. Like, those are the things I can really think of. Just, yeah. And the friends that are going to do that, from my experience, are a lot of times are just the Christian friends. Like, some of my friends that have left the faith, I notice are also kind of, they've turned into different types of people that I'm loving dearly and from a distance, but I definitely know I can't rely on them like I could when they were, because when you are in a faith or the faith, you have accountability. And when you're just kind of like going around, yes, you have accountability in the sense of like you're a human, but not really. You don't really have accountability for your soul. For how, so I know that I need to treat you well because A, you're a human and I want to treat you well, but also too, because I know that you're an image bearer of Christ. So you deserve to be treated well. People who don't have that perspective, they might not, they're more likely to slip up. I'll put it that way. What about you? How do you
honestly,
make lasting
honestly,
friends?
I think it's like a journey because you also learn a lot about yourself in your 20s and in your 30s. And something that I had to swallow like early on, or I guess just like early on in my 20s, is that some friendships are seasonal. And that's okay. And that's okay. I think that sometimes we get really caught up, especially if like maybe you don't have like sisters. Like I've been blessed to like I have sisters. My oldest sister and I were only like literally 24 or 28 months apart. So all of my life she's been my best friend. And of course now I have my little sister, which now she's growing up and she's becoming an adult herself. So our, you know, sister dynamic friend, like I will always have them, right? My sisters at the end of the day are like going to be there like through thick and thin till death do us apart, right? But then apart from them, obviously I have my other friends. And so yeah, I think that sometimes like when you're 20s, you're learning a lot about yourself. So give yourself grace. And obviously, yes, it's so important to have friends in the faith because if you don't, you know, you can easily get into the wrong things and kind of get, you know, what is it called? You know, what does that say? Yes, bad influences and stuff. Friends are super important, but you have to have the right ones. Some, like I said, some friendships are meant to last forever, and some are just seasonal. And I think that's something that I had to like really really come to terms with, because I'm someone that like I'm very loving. Like once you have like my heart, you know, even as a friend, right? You have my heart, Mal, not like in a romantic way, but it's like I care about you. I care, like you said, I care about your soul because we do have God in our hearts and in our center of our mind. So I have a different like view of you, right? We're all, and Christians, we know that every single person is made in the image of God, whether that person believes it or not, right? So that's how we approach life and our friendships. But so yeah, I think that one is that it'd be okay with some friendships ending. I always say like pray about it, right? Like if a person's meant to be in your life, I used to always pray like, well, I still do, but I'm like, I always pray like, God, if this friend is for me, like show me that they're supposed to be in my life, and if they're not, then also show me people that aren't supposed to be in my life. And it's crazy how quickly God will remove those people from your life, or how he will bring them back, you know. So I always say that, like, just pray about it, especially if you feel like you're in a round, you don't have anyone, right? Sometimes you're like, for the sake of not having friends, you kind of just end up with whatever, right? Like I remember when I lived in Dallas, it was very, very hard to make friends besides my coworkers. So it became like, oh, I don't really even care if we share the same values. I need someone. So I need to be with them, you know? And even if they weren't really doing the things that I should be doing, you know? But you kind of get carried away with some of the influences, and obviously you're young, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. I was kind of rambling.
Sorry, really, to just to speak into what you just said. Oh no, just well, just want to speak into what you said, like, and sometimes you are in seasons where you can't necessarily find a good Christian friend in your town or like where you are, and that's okay too. I mean, find people that you have things in common with, join clubs, do things like that. But like, I also realize that like we overuse the term best friend a lot, and I used to say any and everyone, because like I'm one of those people, like I believe friendship love is unconditional, and I'm learning not everybody believes that. So like nothing you can really do will make me not want to be your friend, other than obviously like if you killed my family, okay. But like just for the most part, like for the most part, nothing you can do will like make me not be your friend anymore. So like, even if we go through seasons, that's another thing too I've learned. Like sometimes you're going to go through seasons where you're not as close to this friend as you thought you were. Or you realize, you know what, I thought this person was my best friend, but maybe we're just friends in this area instead of like best friends over here. And I think that's just something to realize that. And then also too, I hate to sound like cynical, but not everyone that says that they're your friend is your friend. So realizing that you're putting these people, you do put people in different boxes. I think about this all the time. If I were to go through cancer, I would not tell a bunch of people. No, if I were to get cancer, I would not tell a bunch of people. I would only tell a certain amount of people. And when I think about who I would tell, those are my best friends. And these are people who I know would pray for me. And I realize that is a mark of a good friendship too. So these are just, and it's not that I don't like the other people. It's just like, if I'm going through something that difficult, I really need people who are going to be praying for me and who are going to be,
what you're saying, but like, if you're in a place where you really don't have a lot of friends, or you feel like, okay, I think my friends are using me, a really, really good like test for that is like, take away everything you have and everything that you do, and like, will these people be around? Like, if these people are only hanging out, and then I'm talking about like, if these people are only hanging around with you when you're in a good mood and you're out and you're partying or you're drinking or whatever, right? If when you're in a good
and you're driving them everywhere
and they're there. Okay, now who are those people? Who are those the same people that are with you when you're having a bad day, when you're down in the dumps, when you find out something happened to one of your family members, or some of your other closest friends? Like, are those people there through the good and the bad? And that's where I've known is that most of the time, the only people that are there through the good and the bad are my Christian friends. The friends that will literally stop what they're doing and pray for me, and that's why, like you said, like when you think about it, you're like, really, all my good friends are Christian friends, and it's not really because I'm discriminating against my other friends. It's just that it really just happens that way, because to me, it's like you can't really fully love someone if you don't know God. And so like, you really don't know how to be a good friend, right? It's more of just like your own merit, what you think a good friend is, versus, oh no, this is what the Bible says about friendship and godly counsel and godly friendships and stuff. It's like, it all goes back to like, okay, God is the one who we answer to, so I'm going to be a good friend. Not really because I want to be a good friend, but also because, I have to account to God for all the things that I've done and stuff. So but I will say, like, more like practical ways to have friends and stuff. Like you said, I used to use Bumble, like, and just, you can actually connect with like girls and stuff, like for like coffee dates and stuff. So I did that in Dallas. I do think those are like, just go to events, obviously get plugged in your church, and, go to youth groups and stuff. Because that's where you're really going to find really, really solid friends that have the same interest.
And yes. And just a side note, in the future, I would like to do some meetups, because I do think good, like, solid friendships are important. I know in my life, I can see I have people in my life who I don't necessarily like the person I am when I'm with them. And I know it is because of the friendship they influence. So also to maturity and like age tells you, okay, take a step back. Maybe I do not spend as much time with this person. Maybe when I'm with this person, we do a different activity than another activity that we were doing. So it's just like, yes, yeah. And
oh my gosh,
so yeah, that is making friends in your 20s. Way too much.
I'm so sorry.
The second one is
short and sweet.
No. This is good. And I guess we can make this the last one. And we'll do another Q&A in a couple months or so, you guys. So don't worry. If your question was not answered, we'll get to it. The last one is, are you friends with people who have different beliefs? Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that so first of all, I'm from Houston, Texas. Okay, yeah, I did.
Okay.
I said,
I was like, did you hear me?
If you know me, I am from a very big city here in Texas, so it's like very diverse. It's diverse in like culture, it's diverse in obviously, ethnicities. I mean, it's a big melting pot. So luckily I was blessed to be surrounded by a lot of people who not only looked different than me, but they also, think differently, and they, we're all different. So we speak different languages, all of that. So I always grew up around that. And so, yeah, absolutely. I mean, in college, literally would be in a room full of like people that were like Muslim and Christian and, atheists and stuff. Like it's kind of crazy because U of H, like it's a huge melting pot. It's my college that I went to, go Cougs. But yeah, so yeah, I definitely have friends. And even now in my adulthood, like obviously I work in corporate America. So I'm constantly around people that are not, Catholic, that are not Christian. So, really how I navigate that is I'm just myself, right? I don't shy away from what I believe in. Was I always this way? Unfortunately, no. I kind of had to, learn that, I had to be okay with not being liked. And I think that's something that
we all do.
Like, it's very hard, especially when as humans, we want to be accepted. We want to be liked. Of course, we don't want to feel like the outcast. But I think it's just you just have to have boundaries, and you have to communicate that. And, it doesn't have to be all that, and, overnight. So if you feel like, oh my goodness, like I wish I had the confidence, like, Mal and Isabel or whatever. But, for me, I can only speak for myself. It's like, it didn't happen overnight. So just try your best to like do one thing at a time. And, and it's okay to have friends that don't necessarily believe the things that you do. Like I said, I think it's all about respecting each other. So long as you respect me and you don't make fun of what I believe in, or you don't like go out of your way to like insult me. Again, it's that respect. Then I think, we're good. Like, but we're talking about friendships. It's like, well, I'm not really going to call up my atheist friend when I'm having a hard time. Like, sorry, atheist friend, I'm not going to call you, but I can be cordial.
Well, yeah.
I can be cordial. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm the same way. Like my best friend from undergrad, he's not a Christian. No, he's not really a Christian. He kind of says he is, but he's not really. And I love him. We have very different beliefs. We always joke that like we would probably be at the same event and like protesting each other, because he's pretty involved-ish as well. So like, love him to death. My thing is like, I think it's good to have friends with different beliefs because you're able to have conversations and like I hear perspectives, and honestly I think it has softened me. But I like what you said earlier, Isabel, about like standing up, and I think about some of my friends that have like left the faith, that do certain things now that they didn't do before and have certain beliefs. I think one thing that you have to work on in your friendship, and this only comes with age and like maturity, and honestly having friends and having Christian friends to talk to and walk through with this. But one of the things that comes with age and maturity and all that stuff is creating your boundary. Like, this is who I am, and I'm not going to change who I am because I'm with so-and-so. So for example, something that we can all agree on, premarital sex is not what God has for us. So my standard is not premarital sex, and I'm not going to change that standard just because I am, hanging out with Mary Sue. Mary Sue, that cannot be her standard, but my standard is no premarital sex because I know that's not what God has for me. And I think not giving into that, because I know myself, there's been plenty of time where I have given into things that I know I should not have. I have compromise who I am on the inside because I wanted to fit in, or because I just didn't want to cause any drama. I hate drama. So like sometimes there were times I just be like, oh. But no, now that I'm older, more mature, and also too more confident in who I am in Christ, you kind of just keep your blinders on. Like, okay, this is who I am. Another example, like, well, never mind. I'm not going to use that example, but like, this is who I am. You guys go do that over there if you want. Right. I still love you as a friend, but I'm going to do this over here. And I think, and like I said, like also too, I'm like saying a bunch of things, and then like, I'm done ranting. Last thing is like, as Christians, you don't necessarily have to be like every 5 seconds with your Bible, read this, please be a Christian, please. You don't have to do that. But the way you're living your lifestyle, how you treat people, your kindness, how you handle your struggles, your ups and downs, all of those things are good examples to your friends that aren't Christians. All those things are going to be good examples of Christ. And I think that having non-Christian friends is good. I was going to say, because we have
to be witnesses
in that respect, because they're going to see a difference in you.
Friends. I think as a community, as like, as like, okay, these are my, like you said, my true friends that I can count on if I need encouraging, right? Like I said, you're not really going to go to your atheist friend, but if, we're called to be witnesses of God's love and light, and like, so if I, like, what good is it if I keep saying it to someone that I like love, or that loves me, versus someone that, doesn't love me or doesn't like me or whatever, we have to be witnesses to those people. It's like, what does that say? It's like, what is good to love someone that loves you, but love someone that hates you, right? Jesus tells us to love those who hate us. So even if they hate us, we must love them. So I think that also says a lot about, like, yes, you can be friends and with people that don't maybe share the same beliefs, and also you're called to be a witness to them. So maybe one day they will, come to Jesus and become a Christian. So yeah, that's my TED Talk. Can you hear me, Mel?
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to our TED Talk. Yeah, I can hear you. You're good. Okay. I think maybe a teensy bit delay. We'll see. I'll listen to it in post. But that's it. I mean, that's all we're going to do today. Thanks everybody for listening to our Q&A. You got a little bit of a friendship lesson, relationship lessons,
and our men orders.
A little bit about our coffee orders. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you have any other questions or ever want to like reach out to talk to us about anything, both of our DMs are always open. We would love to, have a conversation with you. Any questions you have, yes, or if you want to be our friend. Email headshots and bios to hello.thosearethegirls@gmail.com. Half joking. But yeah, I think that's it. If you like this episode, rate, review, subscribe, tell all your friends, and anything else I should add? I feel like you're saying stuff, but I can't hear you anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Bye!